What a weekend of rugby. Some cracking rugby there, some fierce battles, some last minute dramas. This is my review of the round of the last 16 matches. And at the end, I will also let you know my thoughts on the team performance of the week and also the individual performance of the week. As ever, I would love to know what you think. What do you think the main talking points were for the weekend? Please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, let's get underway. And I think we'll start in reverse order and start with Sunday evening's match. Toulouse versus Racing. The stats make this look like a fairly even match. I think the number of carries was similar, number of line breaks was similar. I think Racing almost got the edge in the number of turnovers as well. But it wasn't an even match. Toulouse always looked way too good for Racing. Obviously, score ended up 31-7, and I don't think that flattered Toulouse at all. Lovely to see normal order restored with the combo of Dupont and Intermac at 9 and 10. And I thought they linked up really well, looked really good, as if they'd never been missing. I guess from a Racing point of view, disappointing performance. Also disappointing to lose Khaleesi so early to, I think, what looks like it was a knee injury. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a tight match, and it wasn't. Enjoyed it nonetheless, but yeah. So let's move on then to the next one. So the early kickoff on Sunday, the 12:30 kickoff, Northampton versus Munster. Definitely my favourite match of the weekend. Both teams really went at it. It was just amazing. The pace was amazing. The ferocity was amazing. Just brilliant and breathtaking all round. Also loved how many Munster supporters were there. You know, they kind of really helped create a great atmosphere in the stadium that really kind of came through on the TV. And lovely to see so many pockets of red in amongst that kind of green, yellow and black of Northampton. And, you know, Northampton soaked up some really strong early pressure from Munster. I think Munster were pretty much on the go for the first 10 minutes. And then it was a bit sort of nip and tuck. But when Munster went over for their second try via Haley, wow, 14-7. And it really felt like it was game on and this could be Munster's day. But this season, and probably for the last couple of seasons, Northampton have been fantastic at kind of creating try-scoring opportunities out of nothing. And again, they did that for the 2 tries in the second half, with the youngster Hendy finishing them both off. And it was a little bit of a sad sight, seeing how, I guess, gutted Crowley was after he slipped off the tackle for that second try. And I guess that was the match-winning try, essentially. Yeah, he was down on the ground for quite a while. But yeah, what a game. Congratulations to both teams. A real spectacle, really hard fought. And I guess that is what knockout rugby is all about. So moving to the Saturday games. Saturday evening game, Leinster versus Leicester for the third time in a row, or third season in a row in a knockout game. Another great competitive match. I have to say, I thought Leicester would be a bit of a pushover in this match, but that was not the case. They were really game, both in attack and defence. And I thought really gave a good account of themselves, and obviously took that shock early lead through, I think it was a try by Pollard, wasn't it? And what a lovely try that was. However, inevitably, as we knew they would, Leinster started to show their class, and Gibson Park's first half hat-trick was just amazing. I mean, his support lines he was running were just brilliant, and, you know, fully deserved. And what a game he had, and just what a difference he makes to, you know, when he's playing for either Leinster or Ireland. Just a great player. Having said that, you know, Leicester kind of got back into the game, and at 22-15, it looked like, you know, it could be a bit of a game still. And then they were on the attack, and they threw a bit of a large looping pass, which Henshaw got on the end of and ran it back for a great interception try. Leinster fans had the Aviva Rock-In, which was brilliant. And I think it's going to be more of the same this Saturday evening as well. So yeah, good game. Enjoyed that one. Moving on then. So Bordeaux versus Saracens. And all you can say here is Saracens just took another rugby lesson from Bordeaux. They were pumped in the pool stages for, I think it was 55-15. Another massacre here. I mean, it looked like it was going to be an interesting matchup. Both fly halves were missing, or first choice fly halves. So no Jalabert for Bordeaux, no Farrell for Saracens. But from a Bordeaux perspective, you wouldn't have known they were missing one of their better players, because 21-year-old Garcia was brilliant. Had a great game. including scoring 2 tries. And although it looked tight at half-time, I think it was 10-0 at half-time, Bordeaux had completely dominated that first half. And I think there's a good 5 try-scoring opportunities that went begging for different reasons. Either didn't get the ball down properly or knock-ons or forward passes. But they ripped through Saracens in the first half. And to be fair, they ripped through them in the second half as well. Saracens just could not live with Bordeaux at the breakdown. They were immense. So, yeah, there you go. Saracens, I think that is the end of a European era for them. I think they just look just a shadow of the side that won the title three times in 4 years. Anyway, if you're enjoying this content, please do like and subscribe. Any support you can give me will be much appreciated. And as ever, please do let me have your comments. Love to have a little read through them. So moving into the earlier games on Saturday, Exeter versus Bath, the only all-English clash in the competition in the round of the 16. I think Bath were probably slight favourites going into this game. And I have to admit, this was the only game I didn't actually watch in its entirety over the weekend. I just didn't get around to it. Managed the other 7, but not this one. Did watch the highlights, though. Obviously, from a Bath point of view, really disappointing early on with that blow, Finn Russell going off with a leg injury. I think it was after about 14, 15 minutes. Although it didn't seem to have too much of an impact because they still took the lead. They were leading at half-time. But, Exeter did play some nice stuff. It was very windy down at Sandy Park, which I guess they're probably quite used to. And I think they were well-deserved winners. And I think Bath will probably be kicking themselves a little bit. I think that was a good opportunity for them to get through to the quarterfinals. And who knows what those injuries to both Finn Russell and I think Cam Redpath got injured as well will mean for their running in the Prem. And then the other game that kicked off about the same time, Stormers versus La Rochelle. Now, this was the game I was most looking forward to at the weekend. And it was one hell of a game. Another very windy venue. Stormers broke into a really good lead. They completely bossed the first half. And I think just after halftime, they'd kind of run out into a 16-0 lead. Looked good value for that lead. La Rochelle looked a little bit lethargic, maybe jet lagged from travelling down to, well, not about jet lagged, but at least a little bit tired from travelling down to South Africa. But yeah, once they went 16-0 down, they sparked into life. They woke up and then, a series of really good carries, like really good drives, just got them back into the game. And they kind of bullied Stormers a little bit in the second half, just outdid them up front and, got themselves into, I think it was a 22-16 lead. And then it was a deja vu moment, wasn't it? You might remember the pull round where I think it looked like La Rochelle had it wrapped up and then Stormers came back with a try in the last minute. Same thing happened here. A lovely crossfield kick by Marnie Lebock, dotted down. But this time it wasn't to be. He didn't manage to get the conversion over. It wasn't an easy conversion. It was from out wide, pretty windy, which meant that La Rochelle snuck through by 1 point. Good game, enjoyed it. I think, La Rochelle carry on. They've still got their Champions Cup crown on their heads, albeit it's looking a little bit skew-if at the moment. Not quite as firmly on as it was probably this time last season. One really nice thing in that match, actually, was worth commenting upon is Will Skelton ended up protecting Salman Moret, I think it was, after he tried to tackle Skelton with his head and clearly kind of knocked himself out. And there was Skelton kind of hanging over him just to make sure the next phase of play just didn't whack into him. So, fair play to Skelton. Really honourable thing to do there, particularly as I think they were still losing at the time. The other early kickoff on Saturday, Bulls versus Lyon. To be perfectly honest, I haven't got too much to say about this game. I didn't give Lyon a hope going down to South Africa. Obviously, Lyon didn't give themselves much hope either because they left quite a few of their top name players at home, left them back in France. Bulls looked pretty good, ran in 9 tries, but I think everybody got what they were expecting, which was a massive Bulls win. And, but Bulls were good value for it, but I don't think Lyon ever really fancied it. 2 quite bizarre things about this match for me. Number one is there really just doesn't seem to be any fans in the Bulls ground. It always looks so vacuous and empty, which is a little bit strange. And also, I'm not sure why Lyon didn't go down there sort of fully loaded with all their best players, because they haven't got much to be playing for in the top 14 at the moment. And it just seemed like a really good opportunity to kind of go down there, have a real contest, and just give players experience, in the knockout stages of a Premier competition. But hey, I guess it's up to their coaching staff. And then moving on to the last match, so the Friday night game, which was Quins versus Glasgow. Again, another fascinating match. Really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a strange one. Quins managed to sort of bludgeon their way to a 21-7 lead at half time. Some nice play from Smith. He's the man who pulls all the strings for Quins. And they sort of were there, the 21-7 lead. And then similar to how they've done a few times recently, they then had a little mini implosion, managed to concede the lead. They were 24-21 down, I think it was. And then Glasgow had a man up because I think it was, who was it? It was Marler got sin-binned. And for the last 15 minutes, they were a player up. They had most of the play. They had loads of phases of attack and really should have managed that game out. And I think Glasgow Warriors will be really disappointed with that. I think Franco Smith will be really, really stewing on that one because that was a game to be won. Obviously, Quins won it in the end, but they shouldn't have. They snuck in that try in the last 5 minutes. And even after that, Glasgow still had chances to win it, but just couldn't get it over the line. So disappointed for them. I guess well done to Quins. And the most disappointing fact of that is I called all other 7 results correct, apart from that one where I was predicting a Glasgow win, which meant my my small accumulator bet went down the toilet. But there we go. Anyway, so moving on, I said I'd talk about my team performance of the week and the player of the week. So in terms of team performance, I considered going down the route of Bordeaux's demolition of Saracens or Bull's demolitions of Lyon. And then maybe even La Rochelle's away win at Stormers, albeit it wasn't totally convincing. However, I'm going to go for Northampton as performance of the week because they were in a proper match. It was just relentless, really hardcore all the way through, absolutely breathless. And defensively, they stood up pretty well. And attackingly, they're just absolute class. So, yeah, for me, Northampton get the performance of the week. And then for player of the week, again, quite a few people put their hands up for this one. Thought Gibson Park's hat-trick was a worthy contender. Similarly, Hendy coming on as a super sub for Northampton with those 2 tries was a great performance as well. But for me, I'm going to give it to Garcia for Bordeaux. He came in for the injured Jalabert and Bordeaux didn't skip a beat. You wouldn't have known it wasn't Jalabert. He just pulled all the strings, scored 2 tries and a great performance. So well done him. So, yeah, that's the round of 16 wrapped up. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe let me know in the comments what was your favourite match. Do you think the teams that got through deserved it? And while you're there, if you want to give me a like and subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. All right, catch you on the next one.